What do you suppose happened to Adam once he was deported? The Bible picks up the story in Mesopotamia, where recorded history began, but not Islam. Muhammad had another agenda.
Tabari. Allah cast Adam down to earth. The place where he fell down was the land of India.
Why India, you ask? Well, because
when Adam was cast down there, some of the smell of paradise clung to India's trees.
Aisha, Muhammad's wife, told us that he said,
"The things I love most are women and perfume."
The prophet was simply trying to excuse his preoccupation with smelling good. If his perfumes were created in paradise, smelling good was religious rather than self-indulgent.
Tabari. Adam was cast down in India and Eve in Judah. He went there in search of her, and eventually they were united. Eve drew near him, hence Muzdalifah. They recognized each other, hence Arafat, and they were united in Jam, hence Jam.
If the India story was conceived to rationalize the prophet's obsession with perfume, why this elaborate tale? It's all about Muhammad's third and fourth vices, power and money. He wanted to legitimize and then control the pagan Hajj. It was the source of the religion's power and wealth during his day. Each of the places Muhammad claims the amorous couple traversed were just outside of Mecca. Going to them was part of the pagan rites he later incorporated into Islam. So he was validating his claim to the religious scam he would soon steal. Tabari was criticized for these stories, so he said,
"The soundness of this is established by a report serving as conclusive proof that Adam was cast down in India. It is rejected neither by the Muslim scholars nor by the people of the Torah and Gospel. Proof is firmly established by reports from some of them."
As you may have seen, justifying the unjustifiable has caused Muslims to latch on to imaginary verifications. There is nothing in the Torah or Gospels that says Adam was dropped in India. The biblical Garden of Eden was on earth, not heaven. It was located near the headwaters of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers and the Black Sea.
Tabari. It has been mentioned that the summit of the mountain upon which Adam was cast down is one of those closest to heaven. When Adam was cast upon it, his feet were on it, while his head was in heaven. He heard the songs of the angels. The angels were afraid of him, so his size was reduced.
The Islamic heaven must be very low. Knowing Muhammad, there had to be an ulterior motive. The prophet was trying to rationalize something. What do you suppose it was this time?
Tabari. When Allah cast down Adam from paradise, Adam's feet were on the earth while his head was in heaven. He became too familiar with the angels, and they were in awe of him, so much so that they complained to Allah in their various prayers. Allah therefore lowered Adam, but Adam missed what he used to hear from the angels and felt lonely. He complained to Allah and was sent to Mecca. On the way, every place where he set foot became a village, and the interval between his steps became a desert until he reached Mecca.
We're getting close. It's important for Muhammad, and thus Islam, to place Adam in Mecca. Could there be more?
Allah sent down a jewel of paradise, where the house,
that would be the Kaaba,
is located today. Adam continued to circumambulate it until Allah sent down the flood.
There you have it. To make the insignificant pagan Kaaba seem godly and important, and to have the stone that represented the most senior idol in the Meccan pantheon appear like it belonged to Islam, we see Allah sending Adam to the Kaaba and giving him his black stone. We even have Adam circumambulate it, like a good Muslim, for 1,000 years, helping to justify Islamic ritual. Muhammad was not only the world's worst prophet, he was the world's most transparent liar. Now, all Muhammad needed to do was connect the Kaaba to Abraham so he could rationalize Islam's reliance on the Hebrew Bible. With the Bible snagged, he had himself a religion.
Tabari. That jewel was lifted up until Allah sent Abraham to rebuild the house. This is meant by Allah's word, "And we established for Abraham the place of the house as residence."
This would become Quran 22:26. Muhammad was as predictable as sunrise. In the actual test, there is a re in parentheses before build. In the creation account, Allah built the Kaaba himself. Then it was built by Adam. Now we are told that Abraham built it. So I ask you, how many times should a prophet be allowed to contradict himself before he is no longer considered a prophet? The legends behind the Kaaba are essential to Islam. If they don't make sense, neither does the religion.
Tabari. Allah founded the house together with Adam. Adam's head was in heaven, while his feet were upon the earth. The angels were afraid, so his size was reduced to 60 cubits, or 30 meters. Adam was sad because he missed the angelic songs. He complained, and Allah said, Adam, I have cast down a house for you to circumambulate, as one circumambulates my throne. Adam came to the house, and he and the prophets after him circumambulated it.
In this account, we have the Kaaba being built in heaven, and also being built cooperatively by Adam and Allah. Either way, it's a wonder the Islamic God would take credit for building something so crude and unsightly. Reducing Adam is a fairy tale, as is the desert forming between his strides and villages cropping up in his footsteps. So then, when does the make-believe world of Islam end and the real world begin? When do we move out of fiction and into non-fiction? Stated another way, can you trust a man who is willing to base his religion on stories this far-fetched? If he had to deceive us to make the Kaaba seem worthy of devotion, how could it be?
Tabari. When Adam's size was lowered to 60 cubits, he started to say, My Lord, I was your protege in your house, having no Lord but you to protect me. There I had plenty to eat and could dwell wherever I wanted. But then you cast me down to this holy mountain. There I used to hear the voices of the angels and see them crowd around your throne and enjoy the sweet smell of paradise. Then you cut me off from these things.
This is a confession. Muhammad saw himself as Allah's protege, if not Allah himself. He consistently looked for people to protect him, and as an orphan, he was deprived of food. His own tribe became so disgusted with his continual taunts, they made travel difficult for him. He was consumed with the desire to make Allah's house in Mecca both his and important. He indulged in the sweet smell of perfume and repeatedly claimed that he could hear the angels. What's more, his Quran is filled with complaints. Muhammad couldn't even keep his own twisted version of Adam straight. Listen to this excerpt in which the prophet's indulgences were falsely manifest in Adam.
Tabari. He built for himself cities and castles, and populated them and made them prosperous. He also assembled weapons and established a cavalry. At the end of his life he became a tyrant. He took the name of Adam and said, If someone calls me by any other name, I shall cut off his hand. He married 30 women, and they gave him many offspring. He liked them and promoted them, so that later kings were their offspring. His realm expanded greatly.
Muhammad just couldn't help himself. He used a twisted caricature of Adam to make his warped existence seem godly. Muslims want us to believe that Adam, like Muhammad, was a warrior, an unbridled libertine, a prophet, and a politician who hated nicknames. Yes, according to Islam, Adam was just like Muhammad.
Tabari. Adam and his descendants were prophets with royal authority and rulership on earth. Allah made him a prophet and a messenger to his children. He revealed to Adam 21 scrolls. Adam was taught them by Gabriel, who wrote them down with his own hand. Among the things Allah revealed to Adam was the prohibition against eating dead animals and pork. He also revealed to him the letters of the alphabet on 21 leaves.
Writing began with pictures, not letters. And since we know it, how did it escape their God's grasp? Well, that's a detail. There's a bigger issue at stake. Muhammad's absurd and transparent bastardization of biblical characters was essential to establishing his credibility and thus to imposing his religion. Ultimately, exposing Muhammad's motivation for doing so is central to understanding the mess the world is in today.